Are you making your inner struggles worse by acting as a victim in your life? Are you aware that acting as a victim will only serve to compound your inner struggles, and so it's highly undesirable? Unpleasant or unwanted things will inevitably happen in life, and you'll find it far easier if you simply accept that this is the case. Some people act as if they're at the mercy of everything and everyone, blaming others or the world in general for any misfortune they experience. They have a poor me view of the world. In doing this, they're surrendering control of their own lives. If you believe that circumstances beyond your control are constantly dictating your fortune and that fate is contriving against you, you're disempowering yourself and you're taking away your opportunity to take control and direct your life in the way that you might want it to go. It's a bit like looking at the glass being half empty rather than half full. The reverse point of view is to take responsibility for all that happens in your life, which then gives you power and control over it and the things that happen to you. Successful people come in all shapes and sizes, nationalities, faiths, creeds and gender, but one characteristic of successful people is that they take full responsibility for their lives and all that happens to them. By doing so, they believe they have a better chance of influencing the outcome of life's events rather than abdicating that power to others or to fate. Now, by suggesting that you take full responsibility for your life, I'm not asking you to find yet another way of blaming yourself if something goes wrong. I'm not asking you to say, for example, I caused this, so I must be bad, but rather say, I caused this, so what can I learn? Remember, blame has no place in your thought processes. It's a very destructive and disempowering emotion that contributes nothing. After all, the whole of life is really a matter of trial and error. We learn by trying something and looking at the results that we obtain. Using this feedback, we might vary our approach somewhat and try again. So when things don't work out, we don't regard ourselves as having failed. We've certainly had a go at something and are now receiving and analysing the feedback. Blame would cause one part of you to treat another part of you as a victim. And so you would actually be reinforcing a victim mentality, which is the exact opposite of what is intended. Your attitudes can reveal themselves in very simple ways. Perhaps you sleep in and start the day late. You then burn your toast when you're making your breakfast, and because you're running late for the train, you miss it and arrive even later for work. Because of this, you miss an important meeting. What would you say to yourself? Would it be something like, nothing's going right today, this is a terrible day, I bet nothing goes right for the rest of the day? What do you think would happen if you said this to yourself? Of course, throughout the day, you'd be looking for things to go wrong to simply support this belief. Without doubt, you would find things that had gone wrong because that's the way you were thinking, that's the bias you're putting on things. How differently would your day go if you said to yourself, oh well, a couple of things gone wrong for me today, so I guess the rest of the day will go smoothly. You can become familiar with this by taking note of the language used by those around you. Do they speak as victims, or are they speaking from more powerful positions as people taking responsibility for their lives? Once you start looking for it, you'll find that you become very aware of people who are speaking as victims. You might even find yourself moving away from them, preferring the company of people who see themselves as masters of their own destiny. So think very carefully about the language you use, because this will often reveal whether, at an unconscious level, you think of yourself as a poor victim of circumstances or not. Weed out any language that could suggest that you're not taking full responsibility for your life. And then you'll find that you start coming from a much more powerful position. You'll feel stronger and more confident, and this will help reduce your inner struggles. There are people who have had incredible misfortune in life, but refuse to dwell on it, accepting their misfortune as simply being one of the cards they are dealt with. They then go on living their lives as fruitfully and successfully as possible, despite any limitations they might have, refusing to use their disabilities as an excuse for not doing so. You only have to look at the athletes competing in the Paralympic Games to see wonderful examples of that. I talk about this in my book, Overcoming Financial Stress, How to Conquer Your Financial Fears and Create a Better Future, and that's available on Amazon and on my website. If you discover that this is a problem for you and you'd like some help with it, then perhaps we should chat. You'll find a link somewhere on this page or somewhere in connection with this video. Thank you.